This person is about to harm you in mid-January. See the picture before it. Open this before it's too late. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you, and your heart needs this right now, because something has been quietly circling your life and your soul has already noticed it even if your mind keeps trying to stay calm. You didn't land here by accident. You paused here because the universe slowed your steps on purpose. There has been a subtle unease following you lately, a feeling that shows up in the pauses between words, in the way certain conversations suddenly feel heavier than they used to, in the way your chest tightens when a familiar name crosses your screen. Don't scroll. Listen to this. That isn't anxiety. That isn't overthinking. That is intuition waking up. Mid-January carries a moment of truth for you, and the universe would never allow you to walk into something unseen when your spirit is ready to see clearly. This message is for you because you are protected, and protection often begins with awareness, not fear. Your heart needs this right now because you've been strong for so long that you learned how to ignore small warnings, but your soul has never stopped speaking. You may have noticed signs appearing more frequently, angel numbers like 11. 11 when you're thinking about a relationship, 222 when you're questioning whether to trust someone, for 44 when you're asking silently for safety and reassurance. Don't scroll. Listen to this. Those are not coincidences. Those are confirmations that your spiritual awakening is active and your intuition is being turned up because timing matters now. The person connected to this message is not someone who looks dangerous on the surface, and that's why this feels confusing. Harm doesn't always arrive loudly. Sometimes it arrives through emotional influence, through subtle control, through words that plant doubt while pretending to offer care. Your heart needs this right now because you felt drained after certain interactions, more tired than you should be, questioning yourself in ways you never used to. That's energy misalignment revealing itself. This message is for you because the universe knows you are stepping into a higher frequency, and when that happens, people who benefited from your old version feel the shift before you say a word. Don't scroll. Listen to this. You are not imagining the distance you've been feeling, the emotional static, the sense that something familiar no longer feels safe or supportive. This is not about labeling someone as bad. This is about discernment. The universe is teaching you the difference between familiarity and destiny. Your soulmate path is part of this message, whether you've met them already, are healing from someone who wasn't them, or are still waiting for that aligned connection to arrive. Your true soulmate energy is calm, safe, and grounding. It does not bring confusion, fear, or emotional exhaustion. Right now, the universe is clearing the path for that kind of love, and anything that threatens it is being revealed early. Your heart needs this right now because you are learning that love should not cost you your peace. Don't scroll. Listen to this. Mid-January is not about harm overtaking your life. It is about clarity stepping in before harm has a chance to reach you. That's why you've been craving more solitude, more honesty, more space to breathe. That's why you've been pulled to protect your energy without fully knowing why. Silence is becoming your shield. Observation is becoming your power. You don't need confrontation. You don't need proof. You don't need to explain yourself to anyone. The universe is guiding you to watch how people respond when you stop overgiving, when you pause instead of pleasing, when you choose peace over familiarity. Your heart needs this right now because your soul is done carrying weight that was never meant to be yours. Don't scroll. Listen to this. If you've been having vivid dreams, sudden emotional waves, or memories resurfacing out of nowhere, that's your higher self preparing you to see the picture before it fully forms. You are being shown just enough so you can step to the side instead of standing in the middle of something that belongs to your past. This message is for you because you are not meant to be hurt, you are meant to be awakened. Mid-January is a checkpoint, not a punishment. It's a moment where intuition becomes undeniable and alignment becomes non-negotiable. Trust what your body feels even when your mind wants to stay comfortable. Trust the signs, trust the pauses, trust the quiet knowing that keeps returning no matter how much you try to ignore it. Don't scroll. Listen to this. You are divinely guided right now, watched over more closely than you realize, and nothing meant for you will require you to betray yourself to receive it. Stay present with this message, because this is only the beginning of the reveal, and the universe is not done speaking to you yet. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you, and your heart needs this right now, because the energy around you has been shifting since the last time you heard guidance like this, and the universe has been watching how you respond when things feel slightly off but not obvious enough to explain. You may feel calmer on the surface while something deeper keeps nudging you, like an unfinished sentence echoing in your chest. That's not restlessness, that's preparation. You are being positioned to see clearly without panic, to feel without spiraling, to understand without confrontation. This phase is not loud for a reason. When truth arrives gently, it stays longer. Pay attention to the moments where you suddenly go quiet, where your instincts tell you to pause before replying, where your body relaxes the second you choose distance over engagement. Don't scroll. Listen to this. Those are not random reactions. They are your intuition recalibrating now that your spiritual awareness is stronger than it used to be. You didn't become more sensitive, you became more perceptive. That's why small things feel bigger. That's why certain tones bother you. That's why your energy feels precious lately. Angel numbers have likely continued appearing around you, maybe more frequently than before. You glance at the clock and it's 1:11 when you're thinking about protecting your peace, 2:22 when you're deciding whether to trust someone again, 3:33 when you're questioning your purpose, 4:44 when you quietly ask the universe to keep you safe. Don't scroll. Listen to this. These are confirmations that you're not walking through this season alone. They're reminders that timing is unfolding exactly as it should. Someone around you feels this shift too, even if they don't understand it consciously. When a person senses they're losing emotional access to you, their behavior changes. Sometimes it's subtle, like guilt disguised as concern, questions that feel invasive instead of caring, or emotional reactions that feel disproportionate to the moment. This isn't about accusing or exposing anyone yet. This is about noticing patterns without explaining them away. Your heart needs this right now because you've spent a long time giving people the benefit of the doubt, even when your body felt otherwise. This season is teaching you to trust what you feel without needing permission. The universe is not asking you to become guarded, it's asking you to become discerning. There's a difference. Discernment is calm. Discernment is quiet. Discernment doesn't argue. It observes and adjusts. You may notice that you're being nudged to change small routines, delay plans, or take a different route than usual. Those aren't coincidences. They're gentle redirections designed to keep you aligned and protected. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is also intertwined with your soulmate journey more deeply than you realize. Whether you're currently single, healing, or uncertain about someone in your life, your true soulmate connection does not feel chaotic or draining. It feels grounding, safe, and expansive. Right now, the universe is clearing emotional space so that kind of connection can exist without interference. That means anything rooted in control, fear, or emotional dependency begins to feel uncomfortable. That discomfort is not a sign you're doing something wrong. It's a sign you're outgrowing a pattern. Someone tied to your past version may feel threatened by this growth, not because you're changing into someone bad, but because you're changing into someone free. Your heart needs this right now because freedom can feel unfamiliar before it feels peaceful. You might find yourself revisiting old memories, replaying conversations, noticing details you once overlooked. That's not you going backward. That's clarity catching up. Your higher self is helping you see the full picture without emotional distortion. Don't scroll. Listen to this. You are not meant to confront or expose. You are meant to step back and let truth reveal itself through behavior, timing, and energy. Silence will speak louder than explanations in this season. Boundaries will protect you more than arguments ever could. Notice who respects your quiet and who resists it. Notice who supports your growth and who subtly pulls you back into self-doubt. These observations are not judgments, they are information. And information is power when used calmly. Mid-January is approaching as a moment of discernment, not disaster. It is a point where your intuition becomes undeniable and your alignment becomes non-negotiable. By the time the picture fully forms, you will already be standing somewhere else emotionally, somewhere safer. That's how divine protection works. It moves you before danger needs to announce itself. Don't scroll. Listen to this. If you've been feeling drawn to prayer, meditation, solitude, or moments of stillness, that's your soul strengthening its connection to guidance. You are being reminded that you don't need to carry every emotional weight placed in front of you. You are allowed to choose peace, even if others don't understand it yet. This message is for you because your heart has been learning how to rest without guilt. That's growth. That's awakening. And it's why the universe is speaking to you so directly now. Stay present. Stay observant. Stay gentle with yourself. The unfolding is not meant to scare you, it's meant to free you. If this resonates, stay connected, because the guidance is continuing, and what comes next is clarity that brings relief, not fear. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you, and your heart needs this right now, because something subtle has begun to rearrange itself beneath the surface of your life, and even if everything looks calm on the outside, your soul has been feeling the shift. You may not be able to explain it to anyone, but you've noticed the way your energy pulls back before your mind catches up, the way your breath changes around certain people, the way silence suddenly feels safer than conversation. That is not you becoming distant. That is you becoming aware. Don't scroll. Listen to this. Awareness always arrives quietly before truth arrives clearly. Since the last message, the universe has been testing how well you trust your inner knowing. Small moments have been placed in your path, tiny pauses, unexpected delays, subtle emotional reactions, all designed to see whether you'll override your intuition out of habit or honor it out of self-respect. And your heart needs this right now because you've spent years being the one who explains, the one who smooths things over, the one who gives people access even when your spirit feels tired. This season is different. This season is about containment. About choosing yourself without making an announcement. About protecting your peace without asking for permission. Don't scroll. Listen to this. You may feel a strange mixture of calm and alertness right now, like you're resting but also watching. That's exactly where you're meant to be. When divine protection activates, it doesn't put you in panic mode, it puts you in observer mode. Angel numbers may be following you more closely now, not just on clocks but in receipts, addresses, phone numbers, small places that make you pause. 111 when you decide not to respond. 222 when you think about emotional boundaries. 333 when you feel torn between staying comfortable and choosing growth. 44 when you ask quietly, almost unconsciously, to be kept safe. Don't scroll. Listen to this. These are not signs asking you to fear someone. They are signs asking you to trust yourself. Someone in your environment is reacting internally to your shift, even if they haven't said anything out loud. People feel it when they no longer have the same access to your emotional energy. Sometimes that reaction shows up as subtle tension, passive comments, misplaced concern, or attempts to pull you back into old conversations, old dynamics, old emotional roles. Your heart needs this right now because you're learning that not every invitation deserves your response. This is not about becoming cold. This is about becoming clear. The universe is teaching you that clarity does not require confrontation. It requires consistency. You may notice that when you stop over-explaining, certain people become uncomfortable. That discomfort is information. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is deeply connected to your soulmate timeline, even if you're not thinking about romance right now. Your true soulmate connection exists on a frequency of safety, honesty, and mutual growth. It does not thrive in chaos or confusion. Right now, the universe is safeguarding that future by removing emotional interference. That means anything or anyone that thrives on your doubt, guilt, or self-sacrifice begins to feel out of place. That's why you may feel emotionally sensitive one moment and incredibly strong the next. That's alignment integrating. You're not losing softness, you're gaining discernment. And discernment feels unfamiliar at first because it doesn't apologize. Don't scroll. Listen to this. Mid-January continues to approach, not as a moment of impact, but as a moment of clarity. By then, you will see what you already feel now. The picture will make sense, not because something dramatic happens, but because your perception sharpens. You're being guided to step back just enough so truth can reveal itself without you forcing it. Silence is doing more work for you than words ever could. Distance is speaking louder than confrontation. Your heart needs this right now because you are learning that peace is not something you earn by enduring discomfort, it's something you allow by honoring truth. You may feel drawn to solitude, to prayer, to moments of stillness where you can breathe without performing. That's not withdrawal. That's restoration. The universe restores you before it reveals anything heavy, so you can receive clarity without collapsing under it. Don't scroll. Listen to this. If you've been having dreams that feel symbolic, conversations replaying in your mind, or sudden realizations that make you pause mid-thought, that's your higher self stitching the full picture together. Nothing is being rushed. Nothing is being hidden from you. It's being shown in layers so you can integrate it safely. You are not meant to be harmed. You are meant to be redirected. And redirection often looks like emotional quiet before understanding arrives. Trust the timing. Trust the signs. Trust the way your body responds before your mind tries to negotiate. This message is for you because you are protected, guided, and supported in ways you don't yet fully see. Stay present with this unfolding. Stay connected to your intuition. And if this continues to resonate, stay close, because the guidance isn't finished yet, and what's coming next brings relief, clarity, and a deeper sense of peace than you've felt in a long time. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you, and your heart needs this right now, because the space around you has grown quieter for a reason, and silence is where truth starts to breathe. You may have noticed that your reactions are changing, that things which once triggered you now feel distant, while other moments hit deeper than expected. That's not confusion. That's calibration. The universe has been gently adjusting your emotional compass, helping you feel what is real without forcing you to explain it to anyone else. Don't scroll. Listen to this. You are in a phase where your spirit is asking for honesty over harmony, peace over performance, alignment over approval. Since the last message, you've likely been tested in subtle ways. Small emotional hooks placed in front of you. Invitations to old conversations. Familiar patterns trying to pull you back into roles you've already outgrown. And every time you pause instead of reacting, every time you choose rest instead of over-explaining, something inside you strengthens. Your heart needs this right now because this strength is new, and new strength can feel lonely before it feels empowering. Angel numbers may still be following you, not loudly, but persistently. 111 when you decide to trust your first instinct. 22 when you choose patience over panic. 333 when you feel torn between what's comfortable and what's true. 444 when you whisper for protection without even realizing it. Don't scroll. Listen to this. These are reminders that you are being guided through this moment carefully. Someone in your environment is responding internally to your emotional shift. You may notice subtle changes in their behavior, more questions, more opinions, more attempts to reinsert themselves into your mental space. This is not because you're doing something wrong. It's because your boundaries are becoming visible even when you don't say them out loud. Your heart needs this right now because you are learning that boundaries are not walls, they are filters. They allow in what nourishes you and keep out what drains you. You don't need to announce them. Your consistency will communicate everything. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message continues to be deeply connected to your soulmate journey, whether that's a person you're healing from, someone you're currently questioning, or a connection that hasn't arrived yet. Your true soulmate energy aligns with clarity, not confusion. With safety, not tension. With mutual respect, not emotional guessing games. Right now, the universe is protecting that future by helping you release emotional habits that once kept you stuck. That's why you may feel moments of grief for things that haven't fully ended yet. That grief isn't loss, it's release. You're letting go of the version of love that required you to shrink. Don't scroll. Listen to this. Mid-January continues to approach like a quiet checkpoint. Not a crash. Not an explosion. A moment where something finally clicks. By then, you won't need confirmation from anyone else. You'll feel settled in your knowing. The picture will make sense because your nervous system will recognize peace where there was once tension. You are being moved out of the way of harm before harm ever has to announce itself. That's divine protection at work. Your heart needs this right now because you've spent so long being resilient that rest feels unfamiliar. This season is teaching you that rest is not weakness, it's wisdom. You may feel drawn to slower mornings, earlier nights, fewer conversations. That's not withdrawal. That's integration. The universe integrates lessons gently so they don't overwhelm you. Don't scroll. Listen to this. If your dreams have been vivid or symbolic, if memories surface randomly, if you feel emotional waves without a clear cause, that's your subconscious releasing what it no longer needs to carry. Nothing is being taken from you. You are being lightened. You are being prepared for what comes next with steadier hands and a clearer heart. You don't need to rush this. You don't need to force clarity. It's arriving naturally because you're finally giving yourself permission to listen. This message is for you because you are protected even in moments when you doubt yourself. Stay present. Stay observant. Stay gentle with your own process. The unfolding is still happening, and what's ahead is not chaos, it's relief. Stay close to this guidance, because the universe is still speaking, and every step you're taking now is moving you toward peace you don't have to fight for. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you, and your heart needs this right now, because you have entered the quiet stretch just before truth settles in, the moment where nothing dramatic happens on the outside but everything rearranges on the inside. You may feel unusually calm and unusually alert at the same time, like you're resting but not fully asleep, like your soul is standing watch without anxiety. That's not tension, that's readiness. The universe does this gently when it knows you're strong enough to hold awareness without fear. You're no longer being rushed toward clarity, you're being eased into it. And your heart needs this right now because ease is something you weren't always allowed to trust. For a long time, survival taught you to stay alert, to over-explain, to anticipate other people's moods before honoring your own. That chapter is closing. Don't scroll. Listen to this. You may notice that your emotional reactions have softened but your boundaries have sharpened. You don't feel the need to defend yourself as much. You don't feel pulled to prove your intentions. You don't feel guilty for choosing space. That's not detachment. That's self-respect settling into your nervous system. Angel numbers are likely still appearing, but now they feel less urgent and more reassuring. 111 shows up when you choose not to respond immediately. 222 appears when you decide to trust your timing instead of someone else's pressure. 333 comes when you reflect on how far you've come. 444 finds you when you breathe out and realize you're safe in this moment. Don't scroll. Listen to this. These signs are not pushing you toward action. They are anchoring you in confidence. Someone connected to your past energy is still trying to understand the shift, still trying to locate the version of you that used to overextend. You may feel this through subtle attempts to re-engage you emotionally, questions that feel unnecessary, concern that feels intrusive, or silence that feels performative. Your heart needs this right now because you're learning that you don't owe emotional access to anyone who hasn't earned your trust. This is not about becoming guarded. It's about becoming selective. The universe is teaching you that peace is protected by choice, not by explanation. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This phase is especially important for your soulmate path. Whether love feels close, distant, or confusing right now, your true soulmate connection does not thrive in emotional fog. It arrives when clarity is already present. That's why the universe has been helping you untangle emotional attachments that were rooted in familiarity instead of alignment. You may feel moments of sadness that don't quite make sense, like grieving something without a clear ending. That's not loss. That's release. You're letting go of emotional labor you were never meant to carry forward. Your heart needs this right now because release can feel empty before it feels freeing. Mid-January continues to approach quietly, and the closer it gets, the less reactive you feel. That's intentional. By the time clarity arrives fully, it won't shock you. It will confirm what you already know. The picture won't scare you. It will explain you. You're being guided to a place where understanding feels grounding instead of destabilizing. Don't scroll. Listen to this. Notice how your body responds to people now. Not what they say, but how you feel afterward. Relief is truth. Tension is information. You're no longer required to analyze every interaction. Your body is doing that work for you. This is what spiritual maturity looks like. Quiet knowing. Calm discernment. Unforced boundaries. You may feel drawn to simplicity lately, fewer conversations, slower routines, less noise. That's not withdrawal. That's alignment. The universe simplifies your environment when your soul is integrating something important. Your heart needs this right now because simplicity makes space for what's real. If your dreams have been vivid, symbolic, or emotionally charged, they're helping you release residual fear. If old memories surface, they're being processed, not reactivated. Nothing from your past has power over your present unless you carry it forward. And you are learning how to set things down. Don't scroll. Listen to this. You are not being led toward harm. You are being led away from it. That distinction matters. The universe does not wait for you to be hurt before it intervenes. It intervenes quietly, early, lovingly. By the time anything could have affected you, you will already be standing somewhere else emotionally. That's protection. That's guidance. That's grace. Your heart needs this right now because you are finally allowing yourself to trust the process without demanding proof at every step. Stay present with this unfolding. Stay gentle with your pace. Stay honest with what feels right. You are doing this correctly, even when it feels unfamiliar. And if this message continues to resonate, stay connected, because what's coming next is not fear, not loss, not chaos, but a steady sense of clarity and peace that confirms you were guided every step of the way.